Good evening, friends. We'll start Article 305, PCC2, 2018. Flange repair and conversion. This article applies to refinishing of flange faces to repair mechanical imperfections or damage from corrosion or other damage in service, or to changing the flange face finish to enable the use of different gaskets. To either replace the flange or refinish the flange face. The repair can be performed in situ using portable machine tool, or the pipe section or equipment containing the damaged flange can be removed and repaired in the shop. Flange refinishing will restore the flange facing but may not eliminate the cause of the initial imperfection or damage. The flange may not be sufficiently thick to permit metal removal by machining and still meet the minimum thickness required for the design pressure rating. In such case, it will be necessary to increase the flange ring thickness by weld metal buildup before remachining the surface. A split ring flange may be added to the back of the existing flange to compensate for reduced flange ring thickness. The machining of weld overlaid or weld buildup surface that have not been stress relieved may cause the redistribution of residual stresses and subsequent dimensional distortion over time. Raised face. Under thickness of a raised face due to refinishing shall be acceptable provided the minimum finished height of the raised face is 0.8 mm, 0.031 inch. Thickness evaluation. A flange refinishing necessitates removal of material from other than raised face such that the flange dimension no longer comply with the original design dimension minus the original corrosion allowance or the requirement of an applicable specification or standard. The flange shall be evaluated to ensure that removal of material doesn't compromise design integrity, such as ASME BPVC Section 8 Division 1 Mandatory Appendix 2. Finish and flatness. Gasket setting requirement in terms of flange surface finish and flatness shall be considered. Flatness. API 660 TEMA permit deviation from flatness that exceeds those that are recommended for certain gasket type. ASME PCC 1 Non-Mandatory Appendix D. TEMA Figure F4 unless otherwise agreed to. Finish TEMA Figure F2, F4. The permissible imperfections in the flange face finish. Choice of flange facing finish shall be in accordance with the applicable standard and compatible with the requirements specified by the user or recommended by the gasket manufacturer. For example, unless otherwise agreed to by the purchaser and manufacturer. ASME B 16.5 specifies the following flange facing finishes as by visual comparison with RA standard per ASME B 46.1. Tongue and groove and small male and female flanges not to exceed 3.2 micrometer, 125 micro-inch roughness. Ring joint not to exceed 1.6 micrometer, 63 micro-inch roughness. Either a serrated concentric or serrated spiral finish having a resulting surface finish from 3.2 micrometer to 6.4 micrometer, 125 micro-inch to 250 micro-inch. Average roughness shall be furnished. The cutting tool employed should have approximate 1.5 mm, 0.06 inch or larger radius, and there should be from 1.8 grooves mm to 2.2 grooves mm, 45 grooves per inch, 55 grooves per inch. Fabrication repair without welding. Flange ring thickness or hub dimension or both are sufficient. Then entire gasket surface may be machined to remove the area of degradation of imperfection and thus achieving the desired finish without weld metal buildup. Repair by welding. In repairing a flange face, it may be necessary to use weld metal to either fill a local area, gouge or scratch or to restore the thickness by weld buildup of the base metal or existing weld overlay face, where the flange is to be repaired by welding. The area where the buildup is to be applied shall be free from any residue, gasket material, corrosion, deposit, etc. That would unduly affect the weld. Cleaning may be by mechanical or chemical procedures. Welding procedures and the personnel shall be qualified per requirement of an applicable new construction code such as ASME BPBC section 9 or an applicable post-construction code or standard where weld metal buildup is necessary. The filler metal welding technique, welder qualification, heat treatment if any shall be selected to meet service and metallurgical requirement. If it is small flange, don't think it is needed. Big flange, big size, heavy size. So all these things will happen. Post-weld heat treatment. Applicable new construction, post-construction code, post-weld heat treatment is not required if thickness of the weld metal buildup is less than the limits prescribed in the applicable new or post-construction code or standard unless dimensional stability is issued. Machining the cutting tool radius and feed rates should be set to pre-qualify values. Conversion of flange facing from ring type of joint raise face. Ring type joint flange may be converted to raise face type flange with the following considerations along with relevant sections of the article. Special conversion gaskets that can be used with unidentified ring joint flange may be used, but consideration need to given to the width of the gasket, location of the gasket, reaction load, effect of flange rotation, and surface finish on the ability of gasket to seal. Consideration shall be given to impact of such a change on the system design base and specification, including such negative potential consequences as sealing difficulties and gasket blowout. The material used for filling in the groove may match the base metal of the flange, or may be a different material suitable for process condition. If the groove is filled with the material that has different coefficient of thermal expansion than the base metal of the flange, consideration should be given to the effect of differential thermal expansion. If material other than the base material is used to fill in the groove, this material removal can result in flange thickness composed of base metal being less than that specified by the applicable standard. This is acceptable if the depth of weld doesn't exceed 10% of the flange thickness. This 10% criterion may be increased if justified by engineering analysis. The analysis should be similar to a level 3 assessment in accordance with API 579 ASME FFS. Flange dimension, thickness of weld para 4.3, depth of weld, flange thickness. Marking if the ring joint flange that is being converted is marked on the edge of the letter R and corresponding ring group number or other marking identifying as a ring joint. Marking shall be removed or defaced such by stamping a series of X over it. Examination. SMA 16.5 requests the surface finish be judged by visual comparison with RA standard. SMA 46.1. Non-restrictive examination, either magnetic particle examination or liquid penetrant examination as per appropriate guidelines for non-destructive examination can be found in SMEPVC section 5, the MT and PT examination. The finished machine surface shall also be examined by PT and MT, and imperfections in excess of standard application in new flange or specified by user. Section 8 Division 1 Mandatory Appendix 6 and 8 respectively for other applicable construction code as may PVC Section 8 Division 2. Flange thickness and other dimensions shall be verified for conformance to the required thickness of the applicable standard or as established by design calculation. Testing after the flange joint is reassembled in the field. It should be subjected to leak test prior to being placed in the service or an initial service leak test. Initial service leak test is one in which the joint is monitored for leakage as pressure is increased in the system. The selection of the most appropriate testing methods shall consider the hazard of the service and any jurisdictional requirement. For general guidance of flange joint leak tightness testing, refer to Article 501 as may PCC 1, Section 13. Okay, friends, we'll stop here.